I personally believe that government communications needs to center around trust building now more than ever. I think everything that you do should center around trust building. I wonder because I see now, particularly, I mean, I'm Nigerian. In Nigeria, I see the strategies that are being taken on communications, and I'm wondering, to me, it's like you are taking a long road when there's a very shortcut. The shortcut, first of all, the bar is so low for performance. So you can actually get a lot of, you can gain a lot of good reputation by just doing even just a little bit of good. Although you should really aim to do a lot of good, you know what I mean, as much good as you can. But what I mean is that I don't get this whole approach, which seems to be like you are more concerned with managing, controlling the narrative than doing the right thing. It's so much easier to do the right thing. Then you don't need to control the narrative because then you have a good story to tell. And then everybody, the story tells itself and the story attracts people. You then have people taking on the story. I mean, it is so easy to refer. It's like when you had a good experience with a service provider, you will go and tell it on the mountain. You will tell other people. Like on our courses, most of the people that signed up on our courses, it was referrals from other people, which is why we don't do sponsored ads. Because each course, by the time you perform and you deliver to the glory of God, to each cohort, that cohort will bring in the next cohort. And that's how it is. So why wouldn't you just focus on doing the right thing, ensuring that you're providing services to the people in the ways that is useful for them, whether information service or actual services. You are building a bridge through communications. Communications has a huge role to play. Of course, your performance has a role to play. But even if you perform well and your communications doesn't work well, your tone is always aggressive, is defensive, you don't have a citizen-centric approach to your communication, your reputation will be poor. And this is what we see across board most of the time. Public sector leaders in my country, in Nigeria, they have the worst reputation of all leaders. Business leaders have a much higher reputation. They are much more loved, which is funny. Business leaders that are actually profit-making people. But what's the difference? The business leader does not take the audience for granted. They do not take the consumers for granted. They make sure that their products, their services are up to par. They know that they're in a competitive environment, and they know that if they do not deliver to the level that is required, the market will punish them for it. Because there is no accountability in the government space, particularly in some of our countries where institutions are weak. Political leaders, public sector leaders, there is no bar, there is no standard. But then they get the payback in the terms of the bad press, the negative social media conversation, and the erosion of trust. So we're going to be talking on June 26th on how to build that trust through performance and communications. Join us on June 26th.